106.3.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
3,000 strikeouts. Not sure we'll ever see it again.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
No Theo Dorsey today on the 3rd of July, a Thursday edition. It's Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3. Colin Russo in the interim for Theo Dorsey. We still got Christian Cat, of course, behind the glass down at the City Place Studios in West Palm Beach. We're streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X at ESPN West Palm. Got a fun little program planned for you today. We're going to hear from Christina Costanza at 3 p.m. for the happy hour with Tina. We're going to hear from Jonathan Zazzo, the voice of the 305 of the Zazzo Show 2.0. It's holiday season. For those in South Florida who want to go outside in a thunderstorm and celebrate our independence as a country, 1776 we declared away from Great Britain. If that's what I'm up in Connecticut, so I got nicer weather than South Florida has. But got a fun little program ahead nonetheless. Well, think about it for a second before we jump in to Clayton Kershaw getting his 3,000 strikeouts and sort of the rarity attached to that actual statistic and milestone. I was thinking about it because when you're in South Florida, July 4th is an outdoor holiday. Good weather, bad weather, you're going to be outdoors in some capacity. And when you're outdoors in some capacity, you're going to be going outside and you might indulge in a beverage or two. You might have a good time. Point being is you're going to need to hydrate on top of that. And when you hydrate, you don't want to drink contaminated water. What's that? Hey, Culligan man. Hey, Culligan, man, that's right. It's not always possible to see contaminated water coming out of the faucet, but the taste is difficult to ignore. What about the plastics and pharmaceuticals that's now in the water as well? Well, the team at Culligan, they understand this, and they can help remove it from your water. Culligan offers water testing and reverse osmosis systems that are designed to filter out these contaminants at the source. You could try it today for a low monthly rate. Now's the time to get your free water test because we're in the thick of the summer. You're going to be drinking a lot of water. I will be. I'm not sure about Christian, but drinking a lot of water throughout the day, and you don't want it to be contaminated. Definitely don't want contaminated drinking water in the thick of the summer. Go get started with Culligan. Visit Culligan.com to schedule that free water test today. Don't forget to say, hey, Culligan man.
Culligan man.
I love that. I love that. Christian Cat, of course, our producer today. Clayton Kershaw had they won the game. But they played the White Sox yesterday, the Los Angeles Dodgers, that is. And Clayton Kershaw, who's definitely on the tail end of his career, for lack of a better term, sort of just give him a start here and there. He's played fairly well throughout the year as a 37-year-old. You're lucky if you could get 5-6 innings out of him. But one of the great pitchers of this generation, if not the best pitcher of this generation, 3,000 strikeouts. 3,000 strikeouts was a milestone that Clayton Kershaw hit last night against the Chicago White Sox, and he becomes, in the ninth inning, they rallied past the White Sox, but he's the 20th player in the history of the MLB to join that club. About 4 lefties in there as well, so Kershaw joins exclusive company from that, and it got me thinking about the rarity of season-long career milestones, not just in baseball, but in all sports. Baseball is a storied game. Only 20 players have ever gotten 3,000 strikeouts. I think we're a little numb to it because we saw Sabathia do it. We saw Verlander and Scherzer do it. So there's a couple recent ones that are, I guess, fresh on our minds in the last 10 years. But Kershaw getting it made me think about, we don't necessarily, I think we're starting to take for granted just the longevity of some of these players and sort of the direction that longer careers, storied careers, are taking, not just in baseball, but throughout all sports. 3,000 Ks, we talked about it a little bit yesterday on Russo and Rizzo. Christian, is this something that you could see? Is this going to get rarer and rarer for pitchers, not only to reach this milestone, but to surpass it?
Yeah, it begs repeating when you think about how the trend in baseball is to start very, very young and play as many games as possible and throw as many innings as possible, going down south to play in the winter if you're from the north, and playing baseball 12 months out of the year, which I think is bad for the long-term arm health of these up-and-coming ball players. but also the opposite trend in Major League Baseball, where guys aren't going into the eighth as often. There are more starters, bullpen games. We're not seeing the bell cow, top end of your rotation type guys. So by a pure numbers game, I think we're going to have very few guys eclipse the 3,000 K mark going forward.
And you already have very few guys eclipse it to begin with. We just had 3 first ballot Hall of Famers sort of entering the league in a 2 or 3 year period, and Kershaw, Verlander, and Scherzer. But to put it into perspective for a second, there's only 20 players that ever have 3,000 Ks. In terms of the wins marker for a pitcher, 300 wins, only 24 players in baseball history have that. If you want to talk about the home runs, of course, only 28 players have ever gotten to the 500 home run mark. So this is a number of that I guess is so rare that we're talking about 100 years of baseball. We're talking about 100 years of baseball, and even with 3,000 strikeouts, pitchers, Christian said it, pitchers used to go 9 innings pretty regularly. Mm-hmm. That's why Nolan Ryan's at 5,700 strikeouts, is because he went 9 innings a game and started 35 games a year. And that's not something you see anymore due to the relevance of kind of rotational pitching and strategic pitching. But I think that we're going to enter into an era where the actual stats are going to be by the, I guess, statistic attached to it in terms of per game, per season, per week, innings per 9, which is a big statistic nowadays. It's going to be about the advanced metrics, not about the actual volume metrics. And I think that's going to be the case for football. I think that's going to be the case probably for basketball. And I'm willing to even say that sometimes for hockey, it could get into that as well. Hockey's still about the actual career-long milestone. Of course, we have LeBron, who's breaking every record in the book, but averaging this, and this in this season-long period is going to be viewed as sort of the baseline rather than guys trying to break a 40,000-point mark that LeBron's got. So it just goes to show that I think we're going to compartmentalize how we view statistics. I think it's going to start with baseball. And let's think about it for a second in football. Football, you want to talk about a rarity of stats, season-long, career-long, 100 career rushing touchdowns, 9 players. 9 players. We would be lucky if we got 1 player every 15 years who reached that mark in the NFL. 1,000 receptions, 15 players. 15 players. You want to talk about how short primes are now, how quickly these guys are flushed out? Youth is the new movement, and there is less of a waiting period attached to some of these older players and allowing them to finish their careers, play into their 30s and 40s just because there's better, stronger, cheaper athletes that are coming in beneath them that are going to take their spot. We're not going to be seeing statistics like this much longer. This is not necessarily, it's not like it's never going to happen again, but the rarity attached to it, I think, should almost be praised because when is the next time we're going to see a 3,000K pitcher? It's going to be 5-10 years.
Now,
so because of that, go ahead, Christian.
Am I nuts to think that maybe in the next 5 years or so, it's more likely that a reliever would get to that mark versus starter when it comes to how prevalent the strikeout has become and the less of an emphasis on contact hitting? And when you have a closer who's a strikeout pitcher, you might be able to see him 3 to 4 innings a week, and a higher percentage of the batters he faced will strike out versus starter. Is that too far? Is that a possibility?
Yes. Yeah, it's probably too far because you think about Mariano. What does Mariano have? 600 saves or something like that? And the equivalent of the 3,000 Ks, I believe, is 400 saves. So Mariano's in his own little world. And if you're talking about how many strikeouts, leverage situations, you're talking about a 20-year career of being a high-level closer and a 20-year career of being relied upon consistently. That is not going to happen ever.
Yeah, I was extremely far off because I know Mariano
Rivera. What's the highest K? What's Mariano's K number? I don't even know.
He's not necessarily a strikeout pitcher. He emphasized the bad contact, the broken bat. Right. But greatest closer of all time, probably the greatest closer we will ever see. He is in a tie for 406th in terms of all-time strikeouts with 1,173.
Wow.
He's got some ground to make up.
Yeah, no.
We're saying Mr. 3000's...
play another 45, 50 years, maybe we'll see it. I don't know. These guys don't play enough. But in terms from a starter, you're talking about Kershaw, who's been a top-end starter and was the most dominant pitcher of his era for about an 8-year period, plays on a team that's always in the postseason. He's not always been the best postseason pitcher in the world, but you're just not going to see players like him roll through the league and be able to put in a 16 to 20-year body of work. The primes don't last long enough, and the youth movement, the amount of players that are being inputted, it's going to be a dime a dozen. I think basketball might be the only league where we continue to see high-level statistics being broken just because of there is just, Paul George can play till he's 40. Paul George can play till he's 40. The next all-time great can play till he's 40 if he wants to as well.
Yeah, but I also think with the increase in scoring in the NBA, you're going to have those numbers go up, and up, and it'll even out for any shortage of career.
The problem is LeBron is skewing all the statistics. The top end of it is never going to be touched. Once LeBron is finished, there's never going to be another mixture of just longevity, health, dominance, availability that he has. So that's from a scoring spectrum. But you're right. I think that the 30,000 scorers club, which I believe only has 8 players, I want to say, in the NBA, like more players are going to be added to that. Like Carmelo Anthony had like 26,000 points in his career, and that guy never played in the postseason. So there's going to be opportunities for players in the NBA, but I think for baseball and a sport like football, where if you rewind 30 years ago, you're going to see a bunch of football players that played 12, 13 years, played 16 games a year, got the ball consistently, especially if it was a rushing attack team where they didn't throw the ball, and they consistently were able to compile statistics. I had a trivia game yesterday that we do with ESPN West Palm with one of our partnership coordinators, Johnny Mondo. One of the questions that we got was you had to name guys in the top 20 of career sacks in the NFL. All right? So and you knock out the obvious ones. You go Reggie White. You do Michael Strahan. You do, Dwight Freeney and stuff like that, DeMarcus Ware. But when you really boil it down to it, J.J. Watt, for example, not on that list. There's 2 players who have played recently that are on it, one of them whom is Von Miller. So, and that's for pass rushing, which has become a specialty sport in the NFL in the last 10 years. And there's just not a lot of guys that are even close to the top 20 mark all time in terms of sacks. Julius Peppers is on it, who finished his career, 10 years ago. Terrell Suggs. But these are guys who played through the early 2000s. Guys who have come through in the 2010s, they're not necessarily making that type of... I was shocked to hear that J.J. Watt was on it, but then you think about the health. He had multiple 20-sack seasons, but he missed entire seasons due to health. These guys don't play long enough, and I think their replacements are just chomping at the bit to get involved. There's just more of a pool of players. You're not going to see stuff like this ever again. How often? When's the next time we're going to see guys who play for 15 years at a high level and not only keep their spot but can still produce? Calais Campbell? That guy, and that's a rarity that we see something like that. That really got me thinking about the whole 3,000 Ks argument, is that the longevity surrounding athletes, I think, is diminishing as we continue to grow these sports.
Now, back to the 3,000 strikeouts that Clayton Kershaw did eclipse last night. And you mentioned Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer. They did it fairly recently, and it might be a while until we see someone else, if ever, do it again. But there's one name that is directly below Clayton Kershaw in terms of all-time strikeouts, and it goes by the name of Zach Greinke, Duck Greinke, who has not officially retired. He did not play any baseball last year. He's not on a team right now. Yeah. He has never said that he would retire, and he is 21 strikeouts away from hitting the 3,000 mark. I think he's waiting for someone to give him a chance just to get 21 strikeouts, then he'll call it quits. That's my bold prediction. That's my rubbing the glass ball and reading the tea leaves after being brought to the attention that he is only 21 strikeouts away from 3,000. I think that's why he hasn't officially retired.
All right. So I forgot about him. I forgot he was sitting there. I don't know if he'll ever play baseball again, but if there's anybody that will just come out of the woodworks and sign a deal with the Royals when they're out of the postseason just to play a couple games, it's Zach Greinke, who's one of the weirdest guys in the history of sports, but is awesome to root for. He'll totally come in, throw 62 over the plate, manage to put together 5 or 6 Ks, do that 3 or 4 times, then retire.
And he was one of the guys who was a good hitter as a pitcher and studied and practiced being a hitter when he was obviously a starting pitcher. So he's probably sad that there's no longer the pitchers in the lineup every day in the NL. So maybe that's why he's holding out.
So let's put this into perspective for a second. Of the active players, Greinke is, of course, there. Not playing, but technically can still be an active player, sitting at 21 with 21 strikeouts away. But down to the next active player is 37, Chris Sale, who's 36 years old, who's got 2,500 strikeouts. Is Chris Sale going to put together 4 quality years to get to that number? 3 or 4 quality years. I know he kind of had a resurgence last year, but you're looking at 3 good years if Chris Sale wants to hit that number. To get to the next current player, it's Garrett Cole, who's at 61, who's got 2,200 strikeouts, who's 34, and we're not going to see play for the rest of this year and likely half of next year. That's another one that you'd think could get it, but that's only relying on them being an elite pitcher once they come back from elbow surgery at 35 years of age. So there's no guarantee that he'll get it. And then the other one's Charlie Morton, who's not going to get it at 40 years old with 2,100 strikeouts. Then you're going down to Yu Darvish. There's nobody in the 2000s. So we're not looking at many pitchers that are going to be knocking on this outside of maybe Greinke, maybe Garrett Cole, and maybe Sale. And that's if they put together a couple quality years. This is an exclusive club we're talking about. And it took Kershaw till he was 37 years old to get it. And we know how good Kershaw is. And talk about innings pitched. The interesting part is Kershaw and Scherzer have 2 of the lowest amount of innings pitched to get to that rating. I don't know if we'll ever see that again. At least soon. I'm under the impression that Greinke doesn't care. Would you agree with that?
The fact that he hasn't retired is very confusing. When you don't play baseball for a full year and a half.
Greinke's the type of guy to not retire. You don't never see him again.
At 52 years old, he's still I'm still a free agent. You still have my agent.
You never see him again. And he's living in a van. He's kind of like Gardner Minshew to me. He just kind of just does his own thing. He's just around.
I guess so. Yeah, I don't think we're ever going to see it. Skeens would be the guy. We talked about it yesterday, right?
20 years?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, if I were to say someone playing active, if I were to place my bet, I probably would bet on Garrett Cole reaching that number over Paul Skeens because he's done more so far, and you never know when the wheels might fall off of Paul Skeens, if they fall off, if he stays healthy. Maybe this is the arm injury that is the final arm injury for Garrett Cole, and he goes back to all-star level, starting the all-star game, level starting pitching with Garrett Cole. He would be who I place my bets on in terms of a pitcher playing right now, getting to 3,000.
You know who's at 1,300 strikeouts? And he's at 328th. You mentioned Mariano Rivera sitting in the 460s. Aroldis Chapman.
Okay.
Aroldis Chapman is somebody who just popped out as a current player who's on the list. About 1,300 strikeouts in 795 innings when everybody around him's got about 1,500 to 2,000. How about that?
Yeah, he's found the fountain of youth. Ever since he left the Yankees.
Somebody who never had elbow surgery. He's just a freak of nature. He's a freak of nature.
They got to look into that. He's kind of Benjamin Buttoning in Major League Baseball, which normally does not happen. He's looked really good the past several years. And
he did it in the lowest amount of innings that I have seen. Him and Craig Kimbrell are sort of right next to each other in terms of relievers, low amount of innings pitched, but high amounts of strikeouts. Will we ever see pitchers get to that 3,000 K, the 300 win mark? Is longevity, is that something that we longevity something that we take for granted in sports? Will we continue to see less and less players get to these exclusive clubs with career milestones? 888-760-3776, the Baptist Health Hotline to get into Theoretically Speaking. That's 888-760-3776. Christian Cat, Colin Russo filling in for Theo Dorsey. We take a timeout on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that wants to learn more about careers with Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Every Thursday is a Thirsty Thursday at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium. Membership is just $100, and all fans 21 and up get a ticket to every Thursday game and a drink koozie, which unlocks weekly drink specials. Learn more at RogerDeanChevroletStadium.com.
Breaking news on ESPN 106.3 is brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
This just in, we begin this hour with breaking news.
When news breaks, ESPN 106.3 has it covered.
We've had developments. ESPN 106.3 can now report.
When your vehicle breaks, St. Lucie Battery and Tire fixes it. Stay tuned to ESPN 106.3 for more breaking news. Brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or bradleyair.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
The Club at Lost Lake, a championship Fazio design golf course in Hope Sound. Golf and social memberships are now available with no waiting list and immediate access. The course and club will see over $10 million in capital improvements and is one of the best private club values in the area. Experience the beauty and challenge of this renowned course for yourself. Enjoy year-round access to exclusive amenities and events. Elevate your game, elevate your experience. Discover the Club at Lost Lake. Visit clublostlake.com to schedule a visit today.
Kaiser University's flagship campus. The 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 26 national championships, including back-to-back-to-back lacrosse titles, and they just won their first ever national championship for men's tennis. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest on the championship flagship campus of Kaiser University.
It's Theo Dorsey, and I'm feeling hot, hot, hot. Temperatures are up, but your water shouldn't be full of mystery floaties. Culligan's got your back with water testing and reverse osmosis systems to keep things clean, cool, and crisp this summer. And get this, you can try it for just $10 a month. Stay cool, stay hydrated, and stop drinking who knows what. Visit Culligan.com today to schedule your free water test.
Hey, Culligan man!
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
Is joint pain affecting your quality of life? At Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, our team is experienced in traditional joint replacement surgery, as well as new, less invasive treatments with the goal of returning you to doing what you love as quickly as possible. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care is offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. No Theo Dorsey today. Colin Russo filling in with Christian Cat. ESPN 1063 streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X at ESPN West Palm. We're going to have Jonathan Zazzo in the second hour alongside Tina Costanza. 888-760-3776. Clayton Kershaw has been the 20th pitcher in Major League Baseball history to eclipse 3,000 strikeouts. He is sitting alongside Verlander and Scherzer, who hit it a couple years ago. And other than Zach Greinke, there is not anybody anytime soon that could come close. Garrett Cole, maybe. Chris Sale, maybe. But Kershaw looks to be, unless Greinke comes out of the woodworks to get 21 strikeouts, Kershaw looks to be the last of the bunch for the foreseeable future to hit this storied milestone. To put it into perspective, if you want to compare it to other sports, 1,000 receptions, 15 players got it in the NFL history. And this is baseball we're talking about with a 100-year history, 20 players throughout the entirety of it. 300 wins, 24 players in Major League history to get that mark. 10,000 assists in the NBA, 13 players. In the NHL, 600 goals, 20 players in the history of the league have gotten that one. 1,000 assists, 13 players. One thing I want to ask, do you think that with those types of statistics, they feel important, they feel big? Are you numb to players breaking stats, breaking the milestones, breaking records? Because it almost, not this one, but generally, it almost feels like it happens so often because there are so many fabricated stats and
we try to rationalize what we're watching. Right. Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is the first guy on a Tuesday in July to have, 11 Ks through this. I feel like that is so hyperbolic in the way it's sort of talked about in sports that maybe you forget about the big ones like this because we talk about it so much, about the record-breaking seasons that players have, record-breaking games. This is through all sports. I think it's maybe turning everybody a little numb to the real volume milestones like that.
Yeah, numb's a great way to put it. I think that baseball and basketball both have their individual problems with trying to use too many stats to be able to validate their opinions about a player or a player's performance. Like the combination stats in the NBA drive me absolutely nuts. When you're talking triple doubles, is like, or double double, that's the core. But then we get into first player to ever have 20 plus points, 10 plus rebounds, 5 steals, 5 assists, and have a block as well. Like that stuff drives me insane. I don't care if it's your little nugget and you're the SID at that university and you're getting paid to make your guys look the best. So you're going to send an email blast out to everyone in the media to make sure that they know the significance of what everyone witnessed tonight. I do not care. Do not retransmit that information. It does nobody of any value except for one cool Bleacher Report graphic that explains the intricacies of the rarity of what we saw on the basketball court tonight.
They do it in basketball because I feel like every year the guy who's leading the MVP wrote, "Oh, this guy's having a record-breaking year." Right? What is he breaking? He's averaging 36 and 5. Is that the first time we've seen that? Oh, on this type of shooting, though. How many times can we break records with these offensive outputs? They do it in football, too. Every time there's a Thursday night game and I'm seeing, oh, this is the first guy to have 144 yards and 10 catches on a Thursday night game since, Randy Moss did it in 1999.
Well, yeah. Everyone is trying to sell you something. They're trying to sell you the importance of a game. Just you go to any sales, like, wait a second, why is the iPhone 15 better than the iPhone 14? Well, for the first time ever, you have this type of screen, you have this type of battery life. It's always the best ever each and every year. And you go down to zooming in on things. This is the first time ever this game happens with these players. The latest time, or like the good NFL stat is this is the latest into a season we've ever had two teams play that have X amount of losses or less. We get that maybe every other year in prime time whenever it's a divisional opponent. I feel like that's something. That was the Lions and
the Vikings this year. That was the Lions and the Vikings.
Yes. Yeah, there's that, and or even whenever the Commanders and Eagles played, since they were having good years as well. I feel like it is a salesman attitude that everyone has to prove importance of the subject matter.
And I think that hurts it. Because Kershaw, this is a huge story. This is a huge milestone for somebody's career. This is 15 to 18 years of a body of work that you had to put together of good baseball in order to hit that prestigious club. We're talking about literally since 1890, if you really wanted to do it. Tracking strikeouts happened a little after that. But still, we're talking about 100-plus years of tracking these statistics, and 20 players have gotten it. But all I could think about are the other nonsense records that everybody loves talking about to hyperbolize the importance of specific moments, trying to make something that's not that big feel big.
And I have a question for you. Comparing pitching stat, pitching milestone, watermark to eclipse to matter, those round numbers, what's more impressive to you, 300 wins in a career or 3,000 strikeouts in a career?
I think because the way it's called, I call this like the DeGrom effect, because wins does not always equate to you having a terrific start and vice versa. You having a loss doesn't equate to you having a bad game. Jacob DeGrom probably had the best pitching peak we've seen this century in that 2-year period in 2021, 2020, that area. And because of that, he wasn't necessarily stacking up wins. In fact, he even suffered a couple losses in that. Paul Skeens is dealing with this right now with the Pittsburgh Pirates. The fact that wins has a lot to do with offense and things that pitchers now, especially since they don't hit, cannot control. I think that the actual strikeout marker, because it's just you versus the batter, is more impressive than the actual wins, because the wins has a lot to do with situational, who is around you, contextual. But I understand the point, because at a certain point, you're going to get back to the median that if you're a great pitcher, you're going to get wins. But it's the DeGrom effect.
Yeah.
The wins for a pitcher, that statistic means a whole lot less because of Jacob DeGrom's prime and how the Mets treated him when they were terrible offensively. That would be my perspective.
Someone way back when decided that the 5-inning mark mattered that much, like that for the win. And then a newer stat, quality starts. To achieve a quality start, a pitcher must pitch at least 6 innings and allow 3 or fewer runs. That is a quality start. That might be a little bit better because it doesn't matter what your offense does for you. You did your job on the bump. And listen, it is July 3rd, nothing else going on. This is when I can sink my teeth into baseball micro semantics arguments with no Theo Dorsey to step in my way. So I'm loving every second of this. I do think the win stat is very antiquated, and the changing of what is an actual good start has evolved since they decided that was the criteria for wins. Maybe quality starts gives us a better idea in that sense.
Right, and it's hard to do that nowadays because baseball is historical with a huge body of work. It's hard to compare it because stats are changing. The way people view these stats are changing. That's why the volume statistics, whether that's not what maybe pitchers are striving for, just trying to get Ks, they're trying to get quality innings. But the way I view it is those the numbers speak for themselves in that regard. The numbers speak to themselves when you get the homers, when you get the RBIs, when you get the 3,000 hits. Those numbers speak for themselves rather than your, on base and then your slugging, your chase rate, all the stuff that people want to dive into the weeds for, which are important statistics. But great baseball players, every single player in the 3,000 hit club is a Hall of Fame great baseball player. Outside of Clemens, everybody is an outstanding pitcher who hits that 3,000 K's mark. Once you start diving into the other statistics where other things are at play, that's where you could find snubs and people that just didn't have the best situations possible. Is DeGrom going to be a Hall of Famer? That's going to be a huge conversation when he's all said and done. But the problem is with such a minuscule prime and not a lot to show from it, that statistic, because of him, in my opinion, in the short term, has not necessarily eroded, but it's just not as. It's called like we see. It's not as important. It's not as. It's not as relevant because you're dealing with schemes and especially with the pay disparity and how these teams are just. These pitchers are buried behind these awful organizations. You're seeing it with schemes. The fact that that's the case, that's something that I view less of. Still impressive, but comparatively, it's not as important.
Yeah, it's going to be the opposite of the effect with quarterbacks in the NFL. We're going to have quarterbacks who are not seen as greats in their generation. They just kind of stuck around for a while and compiled these stats. Before Matt Stafford left the Lions and validated his quarterback play with actual wins and losses and then capped it off with a Super Bowl win, Matt Stafford was going to finish his career inside the top 6 in terms of, or top 10 total passing yards, touchdowns, those cumulative statistics by sheer numbers and playing a position that is protected in this league. And then you would look back and say, wait a second, this guy, they never played winning football. How can we induct him into this elite club when that's the most important position on a team that equates to wins and losses? And it never came to that. Now, since he went to the Rams, got the wins and losses, got the Super Bowl, that's a conversation we never have to have. But like you said, we're going to have Hall of Fame pitchers that don't have the cumulative statistics because of the change in baseball that we have to put in there and justify it in different ways, like the K per 9 innings, like the ERA at the end of their career, almost like the eye test, knowing that they were a top 3 arm in baseball for a portion of their career, where you get real subjective, and these baseball writers who have the keys to the Baseball Hall of Fame have to decide where they're drawing lines in the sand of what makes a Hall of Famer and what doesn't, because the numbers, the statistics, they get muddy as the years go on, and we're seeing the start of that in a literal sense with stolen bases, because not everyone can be all-time stolen base champ because they're breaking these 50-50s, 60-60s. Ricky Henderson will have a lot to say because, listen, he stole bases when stealing bases was a little bit more difficult to do than it is in today's rules, where you have a certain amount of times that you can throw over to first base. Ricky Henderson would go for 70 stolen bases, 80 stolen bases, if they could only throw over to first base twice in an at-bat.
Yeah. Now, his numbers will never be touched, that specific, because of just how good he was. But I like the comparison you brought up with the quarterbacks. It is kind of flipped. Let's think about it for a second. Phillip Rivers, somebody who is 6th on the all-time passing yards mark and is just 6th also on the all-time passing touchdowns mark. Some players that he's ahead on the yards mark. He's ahead of Rodgers. He's ahead of Matt Ryan. He's ahead of Matthew Stafford. He's ahead of Eli Manning and John Elway. Do we view John Elway, if you're going to compare the careers, would you rather have Phillip Rivers' career? Would you rather have Matthew Stafford or John Elway's career? Heck, make an argument for Manning too. Would you rather have those careers or would you rather have Phillip Rivers? The point is that a lot of these players were in better situations and were better in big games. Therefore, we view them in a higher regard. They had compiled more team-oriented milestones, and therefore they are viewed as more desirable players. Phillip Rivers we're talking about a guy who's top 5, essentially top 6 in both. And I'm not saying he's got a forgotten career, but Phillip Rivers not getting it done in a big spot, getting to a 2 championship games, I want to say, and coming up short most of it. He is the forgotten about of the big brooding pocket passers of the mid-2000s, 2010s, just because he did not compile the team statistics necessary to propel him forward. That's where this gets burnt. That's where it can be flipped a little bit. But that's where sports becomes contextual, because quarterbacks directly impact the team's ability to win the game. So do pitchers, but the quarterback dictate the game. The pitchers dictate one side of the game, one half of the game. That's where it gets tricky. But you're right. It almost is a little hypocritical, but that's just how we view it. It's contextual. We view Baseball is an individual stats. It's never been a team-oriented game. It's never been that. We don't necessarily, yes, we do with Judge comparatively to Yankees, but there are hundreds of first ballot Hall of Famers that never touched a big-time team. That's just because we don't view the great players having to win championships in order for them to be great.
I mean, what's the best season Joey Votto's ever had? Like, you can't name one, I don't think. Right? He wasn't on the, obviously, back in the 90s, 80s, 70s Reds. But we're never going to hold that against Joey Votto. Ever.
And
no one
they
will
don't,
ever.
and baseball is good about that.
Yeah.
Baseball does a good job about that because it's about the statistics and it's about your compiled body of work rather than your actual success. Now, Aaron Judge is on a different level because Aaron Judge is going to be viewed as an all-time great Yankee, and being viewed at like a Yankee is being viewed at like a Laker, where you have to win big games, you have to be good in big spots in order to be viewed amongst the greats.
Well, we're looking right at the direct comparison in the same sport on the opposite side of the sport with Clayton Kershaw before he showed up in the postseason. Postseason Kershaw was not a good thing to be known as. He would melt and melt and melt, and the Dodgers couldn't get over that hump despite having the payroll, having the expectations, having the big market, and then eventually he did. He did show up, and now it's all validated, almost like an A-Rod situation with the Yankees, how A-Rod would disappear in the postseason until they eventually broke through in 2009, and he had an all-time great postseason. So, I mean, if Aaron Judge never does win a World Series, but he can play great and lose in a World Series, and I won't hold it against him. The Yankees will have failed Aaron Judge in this scenario, and it's not Aaron Judge failing the Yankees. Because, yes, if Aaron Judge had the same type of stats and the same type of burning everything down regular season as he has had in the past in the postseason, it probably does put the Yankees over, and they win a pennant before last year, and they win a World Series in his career so far. But if he does validate it with a good postseason where the Yankees don't win it all, I won't hold it against him.
It's about whether you play great in the game and your team lets you down versus you playing poorly and therefore the team losing. Philip Rivers, for example, you think of that AFC Championship game. They played Brady that year. Rivers was awful in the game. He had 200 yards. He was terrible, and they got killed in that specific spot. But that's somebody who has fallen short in a number of playoff spots. It's different comparatively to somebody like Breeze, who has had very good postseason games, very good postseason runs, sort of halted because of alternative factors. Rodgers is somewhat similar as well. He's a good postseason player, but almost hasn't broken through because of a couple bad breaks here and there. It's an interesting conversation, and I guess it goes to show, now that we've talked about it, just how differently you view the legacy-building moments of certain careers. Football, NFL, you got to be great in a big spot. Basketball is the same way. Baseball is not that. Baseball, you have to be great over a long period of time. And since there is such a large body of work in the regular season comparatively to the 2.5, 3-week postseason, you have to be great over the large macro part comparatively to the 3-week period.
Yeah, we did the baseball to football comparison, but let's jump into the basketball situation. I almost think basketball is more team championship, team goals connected with a player than even a quarterback to a team success, because you are one of 5 guys who are on the court the entire game playing offense and playing defense, playing both sides. We talk about ring culture all the time, how these guys that you might be considering all-time greats, a big criteria is championships, for better or for worse, and even maybe performance in those championships. We're going to see a little bit of if Jason Tatum can cap off the second half of his career with more rings, then you start getting into, well, was he the reason why they won these championships in those series? He might have been the reason they're in the spot, why they're in the conference finals, why they're in the finals to begin with, but he is the reason that they won them. That wasn't the case last year with the Boston Celtics. It was Jaylen Brown, was it not?
Mm-hmm. So you're right, because the way I look at that with basketball is, if you're looking at the grand scope of it, mostly all of the all-time great players won titles. And they won titles on great teams, and they won titles in big moments. Mostly all of them. If you go through a top 10 list, it's hard to get through 10 and to find a non-champion, non-MVP. That's where it gets tricky. Kareem, Bird, Magic, LeBron, Jordan, Curry, Duncan, Olajuwon, Chamberlain, Russell, all the West, Robertson, all these guys who we just named guys who would make up your top 12 who have all either won MVPs, championships, or both. That's because that upper echelon, it's almost like the club. It's like getting into a country club. This is what you need, and if you don't have it, here's the door.
Yeah, especially because those guys, a lot of them found a way to break through despite having other members that were on that list in the same league at the same time. So show me your excuse, James Harden. Show me your excuse, some other guys that'll come down the line. If they were able to do it in a Jordan era, if they were able to do it in the Kobe and LeBron era, then you've got to find a way to do it if they're not playing basketball right now at the highest level.
Right. And baseball, on the other hand, let's say there's all-time greats who have never won a World Series. Ted Williams, he played for the Red Sox, never won a World Series. Ty Cobb, Barry Bonds. If you're a Barry Bonds guy, never won a World Series. So Ken Griffey Jr., no World Series. There are upper echelon top 10 players that we've seen in the scope baseball that never won titles, and you can't hold it against them because you're one of 9, and that excludes the pitching.
Yeah. Mike Trout might be an answer if he can actually stay healthy and maybe cap off the tail end of his career with some of that healthy seasons, maintains a good average, maintains those cumulative stats. He'll be up there, and not a lick of postseason anything. Not the chance to have it, but still.
And that hurts Trout because he wants – you got to have a moment. He doesn't even have opportunities.
Right.
And what are you going to do, hold it against him? He signed the extension. Now he has to deal with it. That's Christian Cat. Colin Russo filling in for Theo Dorsey. We'll do a little safe-bound get-around on the flip side. It's Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
What would you do with an extra $700? You can earn up to $700 per year with Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Boost Checking pays 7.0 annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's up to $700 extra to do what you love. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit one checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCUA, proud partner of Florida Atlantic University Athletics.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, proudly representing the residents of South Florida since 1985, and proud supporter of Inter Miami on ESPN West Palm. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath has attorneys across South Florida ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients, and you won't pay anything unless you win your case. If you have been injured, call the attorneys at Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, 561-867-4117, or online at foryourrights.com. Main office in West Palm Beach.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or bradleyair.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
breaking news on ESPN 106.3 is brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
This just in, we begin this hour with breaking news.
When news breaks, ESPN 106.3 has it covered.
We've had developments. ESPN 106.3 can now report.
When your vehicle breaks, St. Lucie Battery and Tire fixes it. Stay tuned to ESPN 106.3 for more breaking news. Brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
Kaiser University's flagship campus. The 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 26 national championships, including back-to-back-to-back lacrosse titles, and they just won their first ever national championship for men's tennis. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest on the championship flagship campus of Kaiser University.
It's Theo Dorsey, and I'm feeling hot, hot, hot. Temperatures are up, but your water shouldn't be full of mystery floaties. Culligan's got your back with water testing and reverse osmosis systems to keep things clean, cool, and crisp this summer. And get this, you can try it for just $10 a month. Stay cool, stay hydrated, and stop drinking who knows what. Visit Culligan.com today to schedule your free water test.
Hey, Culligan man!
Hi, I'm Michael Manzo, owner and founder of Manzo's Italian Deli, and I...
Stop, Dad. After 20 years, people are tired of hearing your voice.
Yeah, and your lame-ass commercials.
Fresh prosciutto, mozzarella, outstanding.
Oh, please.
There's only one reason Manzo's is voted #1 deli in Palm Beach County for 20 years. Our mother.
She makes sure you prepare everything from scratch using only the freshest ingredients.
Manzo's Italian Deli is located on Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, right next to Rain Dancers.
Is that a strip club?
No, it's a steakhouse. Manzo's is open weekdays from 8 to 5 and offers free delivery. So stop by or call 697-9411. That's 697-9411.
We also specialize in hot and cold catering for corporate functions and special events.
Just ask anyone who was at my last birthday party.
Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, proudly representing the residents of South Florida since 1985, and proud supporter of Inter Miami on ESPN West Palm. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath has attorneys across South Florida ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients, and you won't pay anything unless you win your case. If you have been injured, call the attorneys at Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, 561-867-4170. Or online at foryourrights.com. Main office in West Palm Beach.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
No Theo Dorsey today. Colin Russo filling in. It's theoretically speaking on ESPN 106.3, streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter /X at ESPN West Palm. Christian Catter, producer behind the glass at the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach. All this football talk has got me jazzed up for bowl season. And the 2025 Boca Raton Bowl is kicking off its 12th year this year. It's going to be Tuesday, December 23rd, 2 p.m. at FAU Stadium. The game is going to air on ESPN. It's going to have two of the biggest and best teams from the group of five. They're going to battle it out for their chance at the title. More information can be found at BocaRatonBowl.com. Follow along on Twitter at Boca Bowl and Facebook.com/Boca Bowl for more updates as we inch closer to college football season and, more importantly, bowl season. Once again, the 2025 Boca Raton Bowl. It's Tuesday, December 23rd at FAU Stadium. Well, with no Theo today, we're still regularly scheduled programming as always. It's time for us to do the Get Around presented by Safebound Moving and Storage.
The Safebound Get Around is brought to you by Safebound Moving and Storage, South Florida's most trusted moving company. You're safe with Safebound.
Welcome to the Safebound Get Around, where we go from topic to topic, city to city, and we get around with all the headlines from across the world. Where are we going next?
Next stop,
Los Angeles, California, because according to John Gambadoro, who is a longtime afternoon drive sports talk radio host in Arizona, the Lakers would, quote, love to move on from LeBron James if they can. Colin, do you buy this? Is this a where there's smoke, there's fire? Or are we just looking for something to chop up in basketball in July?
We said it yesterday. What did Palinka call the sports talk radio station in Phoenix? I mean, what are we talking about? What, the Lakers want to move on? What did the Bus family let the guy know on their way out from selling the team? I mean, how do you? I don't buy the source. Number one. Number two, we do this every year. Is LeBron going to leave? Is he going to retire? Does he want to play for the Lakers anymore? Is LeBron going to go to the Knicks? Is LeBron going to go back to Cleveland? Does LeBron want to go back to the Heat? We do this every year. He's not. I don't think he's going anywhere. He just picked up his player option. His son is on the team. The Lakers, they drafted Bronny and kept him on the bench all year to ship LeBron out of town, the biggest ticket seller in the history of the sport, out of town? Really? No, I don't buy it. Do you buy it, Christian?
I think I might. I'm starting to buy it a little bit.
Oh, please.
I'm starting to buy it a little bit because LeBron feels like not a building to the future. LeBron feels like a building for the now. And I feel like it's going to be Luka and Ayton and whatever they get in return for LeBron James in a hypothetical trade. That's kind of what I feel.
What can they get? What can they get?
Who would take LeBron James right now? Who are the hypothetical options? Evan Cohen tossed out a Dame and LeBron uniting in South Beach.
LeBron's going to wait a whole year for Damian Lillard to rehab his Achilles. And on top of that, Pat Riley's going to ship out a 25-year-old and a 27-year-old for a 41-year-old that's going to be 42 by the time the other guy gets healthy. Let's say that out loud. See how that sounds. That is absurd.
We've always heard about the New York Knicks and LeBron being a final frontier.
Trade Anunoby and Jordan Clarkson, who you just signed for LeBron. If you could make that work, fire away, Knicks. Fire away.
Now, how about LeBron James playing golf in the Northeast Ohio or whatever Ohio area, wearing a hat that said "Welcome Home" and posting it on his Instagram story?
Going back to Cleveland?
Going back to Cleveland's a possibility for LeBron James.
God, no. You know what I think happens? I think Adam Silver texts LeBron and says, hey, Bron, free agency's done. We're looking for something. Shams foolishly said that this is going to be the most stacked offseason in the history of the NBA. We need you to help us out a little bit. Can you throw a couple nuggets about, going to different teams to spark some interest in the media? LeBron's not going anywhere. The Lakers are not shipping out LeBron without him knowing. It's one thing to ship out Anthony Davis. It is another thing to ship out LeBron, especially when his son is on the team. Where are we going next?
Next stop.
Let's go to Coney Island. We're not watching some minor league baseball. We are going to be watching the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest tomorrow on ESPN. Colin, do you watch it every year?
It's at noon. Am I right on that?
I always forget, and then there's nothing else on TV, so I'll be at home and I'll look at the channel guide and see, okay, that's when coverage begins.
It's early. They usually do a pretty good job at that. I'll watch it if there is a TV readily available, coincidentally near the time of the actual, the race, the contest.
Yeah.
So if I'm around a TV and it's on, I will tune in, but I will not seek out watching Joey Chestnut return to the hot dog eating sector. It's a fun little contest. It's pretty gnarly, especially when they zoom in and they got these guys with the food falling out of their mouths and the water.
Dunking it into the water and right down the gullet.
It's gross. It's gross. It's not fun to watch. It's fun to watch the numbers and see how far Chestnut is ahead of everybody. But other than that, it's not that great, so I'm not a fan.
So there are odds posted on the winner, and by no surprise, Joey Chestnut is minus 2,500 to win. It's a foregone conclusion that he will win. But last year's winner, the reigning defending champion, because Joey Chestnut was not in the competition, Patrick Bertoletti, 16-1. And he's got the ticket percentages. Half the tickets that are being handed out at the sports books are going to Patrick Bertoletti, because why are you going to bet on Joey Chestnut if you're only going to get a quarterback on a $100 bet. That's pretty much what it's looking at right now.
Yeah.
So maybe the over-unders will be passed down. You can throw $10 on it and get some investment and glue your eyes to the television.
If I loosely remember correctly, that guy came nowhere near where Chestnut usually finishes. Chestnut usually finishes at like 70-something hot dogs. And the whole thing year by year is if he's going to beat the record from the previous year. I don't think he's going to do that. But if that guy can hit 70-something hot dogs, then I think he might have a chance. But I don't think he did, and I don't think he can.
No. Bertoletti was in the 50s, and Joey's in like the 70s. So it's a different ball game. Maybe some fatigue. Maybe there's some rust to the big stage of Coney Island for Joey Chestnut. That's what you got to be banking on if you're betting on anyone except Joey Chestnut.
Next stop.
We're going to your backyard, Colin, and no, that's not where we're going to be celebrating the 4th of July. You're going to be in the Jersey Shore, if I'm not mistaken.
That's
correct. But if you are having a backyard barbecue, what are you putting on your plate?
See, the thing is about July 4th is different barbecues have different... If there's anything that's smoked or prepared over a long period of time, that's the first stop. It's a rarity. It depends. But barbecues usually are, the chicken, the hamburgers, the cheeseburgers, the hot dogs, the stuff like that that's portable. You can eat it in your hands. You can walk around with a plate of it. So you're going there first. Corn on the cob, usually a great July 4th little add-on. I think that's a huge staple of it all. And then what is the bread combination that they have available? Do they have like the cornbread there? You got to take a look at that. And as for, you get a salad to look good in front of everybody else. You finish the salad first, then you worry about everything else. But other than that, it's portable food. That's the best thing about a barbecue. Portable food. You get a hamburger. You get a little plate. You can go and you can eat it on your knees if you needed to. You go watch the game. So if there's something on, if you go watch Wimbledon, who knows? If you're gonna go watch something or talk to people, you can move around with it. That's the beauty of a barbecue July 4th.
And that is a get around.
As a get around, presented by Safebound Moving and Storage. Christian, we talked about this for Memorial Day. That's usually the right way to do it. You're the anti-potato salad guy, right?
Oh, it sickens me. I threw up in a ShopRite when I was, if I'm not mistaken, I think 6 years old, walking past the salad bar, and there was potato salad or pasta salad, whatever that is. It's my fear. I'll be honest. That is my greatest fear is
So you
cold.
saw it in a container, and that made you get sick?
No, it was like the open salad bar. Not in the container, but where you get a scoop and you fill up a container, then you pay for it at the counter or at the deli. I just hate the sound it makes when you have a spoon there. I hate the smell that it emits. And if you brought it close to me, I would have to evacuate the premises.
Wow. Okay. Still to this day?
Yeah. No, not a chance.
Wow. Christian, Cat, Colin Russo, theoretically speaking. Tina, happy hour with Tina Costanza coming up next. Stick around for it on Theoretically Speaking, ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
When you're in pain and an hour seems like a day seems like a month, there's only one place to go for your treatment. Pain Care Florida. Our pain management specialists have the knowledge and experience in state-of-the-art procedures to relieve pain and get you moving. Time waits for no one, especially when you're in pain. Visit paincareflorida.com. Pain Care Florida. Stop hurting, start living today.
I'm not going to put away my fireworks just yet because there's another national holiday I wait for every year. And if you're not tapped in yet, you don't have to worry because McDonald's has got you. July 6th is National Fried Chicken Day, and they're throwing a party with deals you won't want to miss. It's a very special day for those of us who appreciate the crispy things in life, the crunchy, juicy, peppery things in life. And McDonald's always knows what to do for my favorite holiday. That's why I've set my alarm to get there early for a delicious crispy chicken biscuit or sweet chicken McGriddles. And if I sleep through it, I know another will eventually get me up for the peppery 3-piece McCrispy strips or 6-piece chicken McNuggets, each for just $1, only in the app. I know. It's a chicken lover's dream. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Offer valid one time, only in the app. Reward members only.
The pricing you've been waiting for is back at Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach. Get a new 2026 Kia Sportage for $249 a month, a 2025 Kia K4 for $199 a month, or a 2024 Kia Telluride for as low as $38,998. Save up to $11,000 off MSRP on select new Kias and get up to $6,000 over Kelley Blue Book for your trade-in. Job bringing home $350 per week? We want to approve your credit. Call 800 new Kias or visit Greenway Kia westpalmbeach.com for the Kia Summer Sticker Sales event. Make the most of your summer.
We want to see ya in a Greenway Kia.
With approval through KFA, stock number SG005991, MSRP $45,235, 24-month leases, K4 $39.99, Sportage $39.99 due at signing, 10,000 miles each per year, 0 security deposit plus tax tag and $9.99 admin fee. Discount includes all Kia factory rebates to dealer. Negative equity refinanced. Offers don't combine. Expires July 15th, 25.
Hi, I'm Michael Manzo, owner and founder of Manzo's Italian Deli, and I...
Stop, Dad. After 20 years, people are tired of hearing your voice.
Yeah, and your lame-ass commercials.
Fresh prosciutto, mozzarella, outstanding.
Oh, please.
There's only one reason Manzo's is voted #1 deli in Palm Beach County for 20 years. Our mother.
She makes sure you prepare everything from scratch using only the freshest ingredients.
Manzo's Italian Deli is located on Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, right next to Rain Dancers.
Is that a strip club?
No, it's a steakhouse. Manzo's is open weekdays from 8 to 5 and offers free delivery. So stop by or call 697-9411. That's 697-9411.
We also specialize in hot and cold catering for corporate functions and special events.
Just ask anyone who was at my last birthday party.
The weather is heating up and summer is here. Stay cool with EDS air conditioning. Right now, qualified customers can take advantage of 0% interest for 60 months on a brand new AC. Hot streaks belong in sports, not in your home. With over 800 Google reviews and a 4.8 star rating, EDS is the name you can trust since 2006. Visit EDSisyes.com today. Game day comfort starts now. Don't sweat the small stuff.
Kaiser University's flagship campus. The 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 26 national championships, including back-to-back-to-back lacrosse titles, and they just won their first ever national championship for men's tennis. Visit KUCHawks.com for the latest on the championship flagship campus of Kaiser University.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station. Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
No Theo Dorsey today. Colin Russo filling in. Christian Cato, producer behind the glass at the City Play Studios in downtown West Palm Beach. I am up north in Connecticut enjoying the holiday weekend, but we're with you for the next hour, second hour of Theoretically Speaking right here on ESPN 106.3. If you missed any of the program, go listen back in podcast format, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, all those great places. It's time for the happy hour with Christina Costanza. Is there an open for that?
That's
There's
right.
no open for that?
No.
I thought there was an open for that.
guy
Hi,
doesn't
Tina.
watch the
How
show.
are you? Welcome into the program. What's going on?
Do you never listen to this show?
That's what it
I
feels
listen
like.
all the time. I don't make mental notes of the actual opens or not.
Okay, I don't believe that.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great. And one thing we were talking about with Tina a little earlier on is, Tina, you were recently invited to a Morgan Wallen concert. Am I right on that?
Yes, very, kind of last minute. It wasn't prepared. My friend ended up having a ticket available, and she told me a few days ago, hey, do you want to go next Friday to Morgan Wallen?
All right, so you say yes to this because this is a no-brainer, right?
Yeah, no-brainer. It's floor seats, so kind of a no-brainer.
Whoa, floor seats.
Floor seats.
Where is the concert?
In Miami. I think it's at Hard Rock Stadium.
Wow.
I'll just give you the heads up now. I'm actually planning to take the day off because
wow, Tina taking the day off.
I know.
My God, the president's out of office. What are we going to do?
I was going to take a half day, and then I'm like, I should just take the day off. Like, why not? It's at 6 p.m., and it's in Miami, so I need to have time to get there. I need to have time to get ready. So, yes, it's next Friday, the 11th, I think at Hard Rock Stadium.
I won't be here, so.
No theoretically speaking,
yeah.
maybe.
Yeah,
next Friday. You're not here either.
Nope. I don't think Theo's going to be here either. I'll be honest.
Neither is Colin. Colin's going to be in Peru.
All right.
Theoretically speaking, with Andrew Crosby and Mike Jones coming right at you.
So
Tina,
wait a second. I have one little detail about the story that I've never. When someone says, "Hey, I have an extra ticket," does that mean, "Hey, do you want to buy this ticket and go with me?" Or does this mean, "Hey, you have a free ticket to Morgan Wallen"?
So my friend did let me know that I did not have to pay for my ticket.
So
Because
did they foot the bill? Or? Go ahead.
I guess so. I don't know. So my friend actually had a few tickets, and she offered me one like a few months ago, and I was like, no, I'm okay. Like I just was like, I don't really have like the money to pay for that, like that amount of like that ticket. Like I would love to go to the concert, but for a floor level seat, it wasn't in my budget. Mm-hmm. And so I did ask her though first, because before I said yes, I was like, oh, I still don't, I did not fit that in my budget or anything. And she's like, no, you're good. Like, she's like, this ticket's on me. Wow. I was like, oh, wow. I was like, yeah.
Money bags, huh? Jeez.
Amazing friend.
Wow.
Amazing friend.
How about that? All right, so you get invited to a concert. It's Morgan Wallen. It's a Friday early evening, 6 p.m., floor seating. So this is a big little moment. And the first thing you do, I assume, and I think this is a major problem with how Christina specifically handles these events. And I don't know. This is just something I just don't think of it like this. A big component of this is your outfit, right? And a big component of this is what you're going to wear to this specific concert. And so if you're going, this is just from a female perspective. Me, I would wear a Fjord Fish Market t-shirt and shorts or pants that I've worn 100 times before. Tina, when we went to game 6 of the Stanley Cup, Tina got a new outfit for it. I believe when we went to game 3 of the Stanley Cup final, Tina got a new outfit for it. If Tina's going to get groceries, she's getting a new outfit for it. I don't understand what the point is with these new outfits. Are you getting a new outfit for this concert?
First, let me clarify. Game 3, I ended up getting a new pair of pants because where our office is located, there is a store that's walking distance from our office, and my pants just got really baggy throughout the day, and I didn't like them. And I'm like,
You're the first person ever said, I don't understand. Hold on. This doesn't make any sense. There's a store near the studios, so I had to go buy something?
It's convenient. Yes, I'm like, it's right there. I could walk to the store. I can get a new pair of pants. Like, why not? It's right there. I spent $25 on some new jeans that I'll wear again. I have worn again. So I got a new pair of pants because the ones I was wearing I didn't really care for anymore, and I had to wear them for another 4 or 5 hours. And, yeah, I wanted to look cute to the game. And then on Game 6, I really wanted to wear a cute outfit because I was like, hey, if we win the championship, we're going to take pictures. I want to look cute. And so I ended up going to that same store and buying a pair of pants. It's walking distance from the office for Game 6.
I do got to say, I'll back up Tina on this. I didn't realize I was going to Game 3 of the Stanley Cup final until, the car was leaving and I was getting in the car to go to the game. So I was wearing my normal Hawaiian shirt, shorts, to a hockey game. I felt out of place.
Yes, you
I
even
wish
said
I
that.
had planned my outfits differently. As much as I put on a straight face of, I don't care what I wear, whatever, who gives a damn. I felt awful. I felt so stupid. We were in the press box. You had people dressed to the nines in their press suits,
Hockey's
ties,
very button up in that regard. Yeah.
and it's cold. So I look like an idiot wearing a Hawaiian shirt at a hockey game. So I did feel out of place, and maybe I was the extreme level. But all right, Tina, I can get where you're coming from. You wouldn't want to feel out of place.
Yes, and again, I feel like when we go as media, I actually always have to think of what I'm wearing because I don't want to wear possibly our ripped jeans acceptable. I don't know. I think it depends also on where you're going. And as we were going as media, I was like, okay, I want to make sure I'm dressed appropriate. And yes, honestly, any reason I can get a new outfit, I'm getting a new outfit. That is definitely weakness of mine that if there's a reason to get a new outfit, like why not?
This is a female thing because my girlfriend has the same inclination who doesn't even like to shop. She's someone who does not like to shop, doesn't like buying new clothes. But whenever there is a occasion, event, something, it's always a trip to a store to buy a outfit for that occasion.
That's, again, I don't really shop. Like I'm not the type that's like, oh, I want to go shopping today. I really only buy outfits probably on occasion, or I will say, like if I go to Target, I'm always looking at like the clothing section. Like that's definitely a weakness of mine. Like whenever I'm at Target, I'm looking. But I probably am only buying clothes for events or occasions that are coming up or going on that I would possibly need something to. So
what's the line? Like what line determines whether this event is worthy of buying a new outfit?
Okay, well, Morgan Wallen is totally just like you need to. And now with concerts, people go all out.
It's not a you need to.
For Morgan Wallen, like what are you going to go home with him?
This is not a you need to. This is not the White House, all right? We're going hang out with Morgan Wallen, the floor seats. Great ticket. I mean, geez, so you need to. What do you mean you need to?
Well, I just think about what's in my closet. Do I have anything in my closet that I can already wear? I already have boots, so I'm covered there. I just need to figure out like the tops, the bottom. Am I wearing a dress? Am I wearing a set? Am I going to wear like a tank top and shorts? What's the weather like? There's so many things that go through my head if I'm going to get an outfit or not. If I already have something, then I won't buy clothes. But I already know that I don't have anything that's like up to the Morgan Wallen concert that I want. And the pictures you're going to take.
But Tina, you're a country music fan, and there are so many country music concerts that are around our area.
Tina went to one like 2 weeks ago.
I did. I bought a dress for that.
What does that dress not fit the Morgan Wallen occasion? Does he demand more? Is it a black tie affair? Like, how does this work?
The one that I went to a few weeks ago, I just had like an outfit in my mind and that I wanted to wear. Like, oh, I really want to get what I had envisioned in my head. I bought, didn't work out. So then I last minute just found like this black dress that went with my black cowboy boots and went with that. But yeah, I don't have anything that'll fit up to like Morgan Wallen. And my friend that's going, we have been talking about for a month plus now, her outfit, and her outfit's amazing. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm going with my hot friend. I got to look hot for myself and get a hot outfit.
Now,
but you don't have a hot outfit in your closet.
No, I don't shop I don't have clothes just ready to go for a country concert.
So what happens like after, like you wear it? Does it get burned? Does it go into a garbage can? And what happens?
I hope that there's another occasion that I can wear it again.
Well, what about the previous 5 concerts? Did you think that maybe that those would be suited for the Morgan Wallen?
No, they're not.
So here's a word of advice. You've seen the billboards. You probably got the push notification that at Hard Rock Casino, Shania Twain's going to be there in early August.
Okay,
so
yes.
maybe you should get an outfit that is good for both concerts.
I have seen Shania Twain. I thought about going to her concert. I haven't got a ticket yet for her.
Wow,
but it's definitely
big fan, huh?
I saw her in Nashville, and I was on the floor for Shania in Nashville. Like, that was like a bucket list for me, and it was amazing. I'd love to see her again. But I could get an outfit maybe. This is what's bad about me is I don't like to wear things twice, where you see them twice.
All right, we should have led with this. We should. All right, so this is the point that we took 15 minutes to get to. Tina doesn't like to wear the same outfit twice. Is this count for everything, or is this just for outward social event inclination types of events that you cannot wear something twice?
Probably just bigger events.
You could wear something to work twice.
Oh yeah, I recycle through like outfits at work, like the same thing.
All right. So, but it's for actual big events that you cannot do things twice.
Yeah, pretty much.
We're beating around the bush. It is, I will not post a picture of myself on Instagram where I'm wearing an outfit that is earlier in the grid. That's what I feel like it comes from. Because if it's a big enough event to take a picture for that event that you'll post on your social media, you don't want the grid looking uniform. Is that what this goes to?
That's pretty spot on, C-Cat. Yeah, it's pretty spot on.
Yeah.
Do you think
Thanks.
people watch it are like, hold on, I remember this from this post in 2021 of November.
Wow, Tina's poor. What the hell?
Finances must be tight. All right, so you haven't found this outfit yet for Morgan Wallen, though.
I have not. No, I was told 2 days ago about going to attend Morgan Wallen, and then last night I started looking at outfits, and I'm like, okay, like, can I get something here in time? And I haven't really found like what I want to wear, the look I'm going for. Do I want to get new cowgirl boots? Do I want to stick with the ones that I have? I don't know.
You're gonna get new boots?
I could get new boots. I have boots, but this is a really cute outfit. Like, why not maybe get like a red pair of cowgirl boots? Those would be cute. Maybe I'll wear them again. I don't know. A lot going through my head right now that I have to figure out.
You only have one pair of boots.
One, and they are black boots.
How many pairs of shoes do you have?
A lot. Not boots though.
Okay. And this is going to be a boots event. No discussion.
Yeah, they'll be comfy. It'll go with my outfit. It's a country concert. I don't get to always wear my boots often.
I think Christian and I are kind of fit. Christian, I'm assuming you're in the same boat as me.
In terms of this is a waste of money?
I don't buy. I'm not going to get the clothes unless I absolutely need to. Am I right?
Yeah, there's probably 1 or 2 events a year that I have to go to a store and buy for. Like when I wore this big floral suit jacket for a work event we did to look all formal but still show some personality. I had to go shopping for that outfit, but I haven't bought an outfit for a specific event in a while since that moment, just in general. But I do have a question regarding to the Morgan Wallen concert. He has this continuing thing on this tour that he's on where he walks out onto the stage with people that are significant to the area.
Yes.
Where you've seen Mike Tyson in Vegas. We saw Roger Clemens, I believe, in Houston. You saw Peyton Manning at Neyland Stadium in Tennessee. So you saw...
He just had Brett Favre in Wisconsin.
Yeah, that too.
Interesting choice.
Interesting, yeah, weird.
I mean, they wouldn't walk out with Brett Favre in Mississippi. I think that's kind of fair to say, too. He's kind of held in a higher regard where he played most of his football in his NFL days than is where he lives currently.
No, I'm not talking about his NFL pedigree. I think I'm talking about something else, but I understand.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The welfare was allegedly stolen from the Mississippi people, is what I'm saying. He didn't steal from the Wisconsinites.
Right, so it's cool. It's fair game.
Exactly, yeah. Who is Morgan Wallen going to walk out in Miami? Who's going to be in that social circle? Because Theo Vaughn is a big UFC guy. He's probably in the same circles where there's so many UFC people in Miami where I might see, what's his name? Who's the street Jesus? Jorge Masvidal. I could see Morgan Wallen walk out with Jorge Masvidal because they're in that same social circle, Rogan-esque type folk. And you also need someone that means Miami. Can you think of anyone else in South Florida?
DJ Khaled.
Ooh.
That would be a good one. Someone in the office said Tua, but I was like, I don't think so.
Tua? I think
Mike McDaniel wouldn't surprise me, but that would be a little like...
I would say Tua's more likely than Mike McDaniel. I could see Tua listen to country music more so than Mike McDaniel.
You think Tyler Hero will walk out with
No.
No?
No.
If this was 4 years ago, Jimmy Butler would walk out with Morgan Wallen. Jimmy Butler, famously a country music fan, that he would force everyone in the locker room on his team to listen to it with him.
When did this walkout stuff start?
Got to be this
kinda
tour.
weird.
You don't like it?
No. I don't really care for it. I think it's a waste of time.
Yeah, I kind of like it.
Okay.
You're going to think it's a waste of time when you scroll past the video on social media. You're going to get excited when you see it in person.
Okay.
That's what I feel.
Maybe
think
because
about
I
it.
Show it
haven't
on the big
experienced
screen?
it.
Do they show it on the big screen?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Show it on the big stream and they record it and
And
post
then they
it
don't
online.
do anything, right? They just walk out and then they're just there to enjoy the concert?
Yeah, just kind of think of...
like a walkout crew at a UFC.
Yeah, walkout crew at UFC, maybe
he's got
even
the front row
wrestling. When Travis Scott walked out with The Rock that one time, and then he, for some reason, was a part of the storyline and beat up Cody Rhodes. Like, you'll have celebrities walk out with the actual performer, whether it be an athlete or another performer themselves. I could see that happening.
Speaking of athletes, Christina Costanza, a big advocate of going to the gym early in the morning. Tina, F45, how's the gym?
The gym is great, Colin. And you know because you also go to F45 West Palm Beach. But I go to F45 Palm Beach Gardens. 45-minute workout. You don't have to think about it. You walk right in. There's a trainer there to help you. There's screens that have the exercises on them, a countdown, so you don't have to worry about when to start, when to stop. You stick with it. You will see results. F45 Palm Beach Gardens. Check out their Instagram pages to see the specials that they've got going on, or go to f45training.com to find a location near you.
Christina Costanza, Christian Cat, Colin Russo. Theoretically speaking, we continue on the happy hour with Tina next on Theoretically Speaking, ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
The weather is heating up and summer is here. Stay cool with EDS Air Conditioning. Right now, qualified customers can take advantage of 0% interest for 60 months on a brand new AC. Hot streaks belong in sports, not in your home. With over 800 Google reviews and a 4.8 star rating, EDS is the name you can trust since 2006. Visit EDSIsyes.com today. Game day comfort starts now. Don't sweat the small stuff.
What would you do with an extra $700? You can earn up to $700 per year with Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Boost Checking pays 7.0 annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's up to $700 extra to do what you love. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit one checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCUA, proud partner of Florida Atlantic University Athletics.
It's Theo Dorsey, and I'm feeling hot, hot, hot. Temperatures are up, but your water shouldn't be full of mystery floaties. Culligan's got your back with water testing and reverse osmosis systems to keep things clean, cool, and crisp this summer. And get this, you can try it for just $10 a month. Stay cool, stay hydrated, and stop drinking who knows what. Visit Culligan.com today to schedule your free water test.
Hey, Culligan man!
Hey, Joe Fortenbaugh here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sportsbook for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with the promo code JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Level up your summer projects with 4th of July savings on top brand cordless power tools from the Home Depot. Whether you're working on a fence, a planter box, or a new workbench, get the power and runtime you need with the Ryobi One Plus 18-volt 2 toolkit from the Home Depot for only $99, was $139. Get 4th of July savings on the cordless power you need to make summer projects easier than ever. Right now at the Home Depot.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Being a sports fan is tough. Bad calls, crushed dreams, Jets fans. Hi, this is Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike, and don't worry, we're here for you. ESPN 1063 is your official sports therapy hotline. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
Colin Russo in for Theo Dorsey with Christina Costanza, Christian Cat. It's the happy hour with Tina on ESPN 1063, streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X at ESPN West Palm. Tina, how's your car doing? What's going on there?
My car is all better now because for a little bit I was dealing with some tire issues, but I went to the tire experts at St. Lucie Battery and Tire. Car troubles are the absolute worst, and that's why I always go to St. Lucie Battery and Tire for them to figure it out because I have no idea what to do in those situations. They've been around for over 50 years and are still family owned. They have all the big tire brands, and if your battery dies, they've got one for pretty much everything. Not just cars, but also trucks, boats, RVs, and even commercial fleets. They have the best price out the door guarantee, so you know you are not overpaying. If you ever stuck, they have 24/7 roadside emergency service. Check them out at slbt.com. And they're not just in Port St. Lucie. They are all across Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast, so find the closest location to you at slbt.com.
Tina, Christian, Colin, Christina Costanza going to a Morgan Wallen concert this weekend. We got a weekend after July 4th that I don't think there will be anybody here to do, theoretically speaking, so we'll see what happens there. But talking about Tina getting new outfits for certain events, I think that's just foreign to me. But it got me thinking, Christian, is there an equivalent of what guys do, men, in terms of they always do this, but it's just completely questionable to the idea of women? Is it like the idea of splurging on golf? I was thinking about it like that. Is that it?
What about
buying
betting?
Golf? What? Go ahead.
What about betting?
Sports betting?
Betting is a very good one as well. That's actually an exceptional one.
Where it might void some logic sometimes, but you do it because you're in the spirit.
The thing with betting is you could win big. Like if you do it, there could be a really, really good outcome.
Right, whereas buying a article of clothing will always be a net negative.
It'll just make me feel really good.
Right, unless you meet someone
you
there
never know. Unless
that gets
Morgan
attracted to you
Wallen
because you're
picks you out of the
clothes.
crowd and goes, "You in that wonderful new dress? Is that new? Yeah, that's new. I just got
Wow,
it."
what an investment. Now all of a sudden, 3 years down the line, the divorce happens, you get half of the honey hole. That's a pretty good investment on a brand new dress. I have to say so myself.
That's like betting. It's like taking a future.
Yeah,
No,
I would say golf is for guys that are into golf, they do spend a lot of money on golf that it's hard to really justify it. But you know what? I actually am completely 100% a hypocrite. When I was fortunate enough to go to the Masters this year, I bought a new outfit for the Masters. I bought pants.
As you should.
Yeah, that felt like hallowed ground. It would be disrespectful to wear the same polo pants and a quarter zip that I wear at my local municipal course. It felt like
You went to a store, a golf shop or something like that to buy a new outfit for the Masters?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I would do that.
Really?
No.
Little disrespectful, no?
Disrespectful to who?
Those who have hoisted or who have worn the green jacket.
Those who have won the tournament?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Those who put every second of their life into making sure that grass is perfect.
So
that
you're
the birds
saying
are
when
chirping.
Rory McIlroy put on that jacket, he goes, "You, are those new pants?" Yes,
Exactly.
Rory, Christian Cat here. These are new pants.
Everyone's dressed to the nines. Oh, man.
I was
If Tina was going to the Masters, she would be in generational debt into the amount of money that she would spend on her Masters outfit and the money spent at the Masters itself.
Oh, yeah. I would go all in on an outfit. I'd have to plan that out for weeks. I'd have to do the green, some white, maybe a little, an outfit with some yellow. I would be weeks of planning what I'm wearing.
Yeah, it's a who's who type thing in terms of who's there and then what they're wearing. With the women, that's what I found. There's a lot of get ready with me as I go to the practice round at the Masters. It's a pretty big deal what you wear there. It's almost like the Kentucky Derby, just a lot more exclusive.
I can't remember the last time I bought an outfit for an event. I've been trying to think of this for about 20 minutes. I can't remember one time. Graduations. I've been to one wedding in my life, so I guess I haven't had a ton of opportunity there. I wore my normal blazer for that. I've been to concerts. I don't know. It just doesn't. To me, I am the least clothing apt person. You guys probably know this.
Yeah, we know that. You wear the same 5 outfits
Hold on.
every
All right.
week,
That
and
wasn't
you
an
just
invitation.
rotate the polos and the pants
Yeah, you
and the
dressed
shoes.
up nice for today's show, though. Wearing a T-shirt that is very wrinkly at your
this
childhood
shirt,
home.
The shirt that I'm wearing, Fjord Fish Market T-shirt. It's been to 17 countries. How about that? Yeah. That's right. So
Well, it's already been in this one. Why you got to wear it today?
Should I save it for next week when I go to Peru? This is coming to Peru.
Wow.
But I don't know. I like the idea of used clothes. I don't know. Are you somebody that buys clothes for a new event? Let us know. 888-760-3776. The Baptist Health Hotline. Baptist Orthopedic Care. Are you experiencing foot and ankle pain and need to see an expert in the field? Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has a team of foot and ankle orthopedic surgeons and specialists who are regarded as leaders in their specialty. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho to learn more today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. They combine the resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho today. July 4th this weekend, a long weekend, a rare year where it falls on a Friday. Tina, how are you spending it? How are you spending your long weekend?
I will be making my way over to the West Coast today to go spend some time with family, parents, cousins, aunts, uncles, and just really relaxing. When I get to go over there, it's kind of like just an escape from reality, very quiet. So I'm looking forward to that.
So is July 4th a holiday that you usually celebrate or usually take it easy to go see family?
Kind of just depends what the plans are. Like if the weather was nice and I was staying in the area, I would probably hope to go on the boat or something. I love fireworks. I'm not a fan of setting them off myself, but I do like watching them and seeing them. I like to have some sparklers, but it's usually very low-key, chill, nothing crazy.
Christian, are you the same boat? I know you're a pyromaniac like most men, huh? That's another thing. Tina, does that confuse you about men that most guys love fire?
Wasn't that a topic we had one day when it was us three? That was, yes, because it was guys think they can fly planes and that guys love fire.
Yes.
And those were two things that guys are like for sure. And
women
with fireworks.
Women do what?
We tried to figure this out the last time and I didn't have anything.
Women love buying new outfits for
There you go, yes.
leaving the house.
That doesn't surprise me that men love fire.
Women have that internal fire to want children more so than men.
I don't.
Is that true?
I don't know if we go there.
I feel like there's a different mother's connection to a child more so than the guys. You notice
I wouldn't know. I don't have children.
You're saying men
so
don't
I don't
care
know.
about their children?
I think you were to poll everyone on planet Earth, there's a higher percentage that women want kids than men want kids. That's what I would say. Even though the woman has to go through more pain and suffering and work in order to make a child happen than a guy, I think still baby fever is more likely to be held by women than men.
Well, in our office, I think Mike Rizzo might have the baby fever more than anyone here. So
Well, that guy just wants to procreate with anything that walks. That's what I would say.
I don't know if maybe you're right. Maybe the maternal power of, I don't know. I mean, maybe there is more power there. I don't know if you pull it. It's kind of out of left field. I see the point.
Well, there's the cliche where like the young couple goes to a party or whatnot and someone that's similar in age has a newborn and the guy's like, don't get any ideas. Right? Doesn't it feel like it's more of a cliche for the women to want children more than the man?
I think, yes, women probably want children more than men do. But I don't know about, again, the motherly feel. I'm not a mother. But, like, too, when you see your friends and you are hanging out with babies, you see all the good parts of having a baby. And they're laughing and maybe they're crying a little bit. But, like, you don't get to see the diaper explosion that's at home that's happening and a mess everywhere. So you get to see all, like, the fun parts. And, yeah, maybe you have a little bit of, oh, my friends are doing this right now and I should maybe be doing it. But depends.
Yeah.
Maybe some people are ready for kids and some aren't until later on in life.
See, like a lot of parents say these are the cute years, these are the good years. Dude, going to Disney World and seeing the children of all shapes and sizes and
Christian,
ages.
I think you're just down on kids. I just think you're
Yeah.
down on the idea of kids right now because you were just recently at Disney World.
Wait, I have a whole thing about Disney and kids. I don't understand, which again, I'm not a parent. I don't know if maybe you feel different. I don't understand why parents take their newborn babies to Disney.
Oh.
That sounds like it's unenjoyable for every party. For the baby, for the parents, like that just doesn't seem enjoyable at all. I think that the kid needs to remember that they were at Disney and they experienced it and they could probably walk on their own. I don't understand the whole newborns, 1-year-olds going to Disney.
It's a good point.
I would expand that to like 5-year-olds and under.
Yes.
No vacations with the kids until they're like 6 years
Until they can remember it, right? That kind of feels
Leave
like it.
If you bring the kid to the pool, it's like the Atlantic Ocean for them, and that's all. That they got their fix. That's what you need.
And I have a best friend who is very grew up going to Disney, so like they're Disney, they love Disney. So I understand her. They're going for themselves at this point. Like they love Disney and they have a kid now, so they take their kid with them. Totally get that, but I just don't get it. I'm like, this just seems miserable for everyone.
I agree with that. I would even 6-year-old under 6 years old, leave the kid with parents, neighbors, brother, sister.
Yeah.
Leave the kid somewhere.
Go see
do
the
a
world.
Vacation normally.
Go to Vegas. Enjoy not being with your kid on vacation. Am I
Christian's
crazy?
down on the idea of children right now because he saw all the kids in line at Disney, and you're down on it. I get it. You're down on it. I mean, unbelievable. 20% off on Vitacost. Christina, we talked about how You're a frequent member at F45, but tell us how we could get more involved in terms of the nutrition side with VitaCost.
Yes, one thing that's so great about VitaCost and their sports certified marketplace is that you don't have to just when you go to some websites to buy supplements, you have to get that specific brand of everything. VitaCost, I love that I can get a different brand of protein powder, a different brand of creatine, a different brand of hydration replenishment, packets. Whatever I need, I can find different brands, reviews of all of them, all in this one place. VitaCost Sports Certified Marketplace is built for athletes and fitness enthusiasts who train hard and understand the benefits of clean supplementation and nutrition. Whether you're prepping for a triathlon or an Ironman like Colin, grinding at the gym like me, or just trying to be a little more health conscious, VitaCost is your go-to for leveling up your game. Their new Sports Certified Marketplace has over 400 performance-enhancing supplements, all certified, free of banned substances, to help you level up your game. Visit Vitacost.com to make your purchase today and use the code ESPN20 for 20% off. That's ESPN20 for 20% off. Level up your game at VitaCost.
Level up your game at VitaCost today. Christina, enjoy July 4th with the family. We will talk eventually next time I fill in on Theoretically Speaking. Of course, that concludes the happy hour with Tina. We got to jump into a little Jonathan Zaslow, a little Zaslow show, 2.0 voice of the 305. That will be coming up on the flip side. Stick around for it. Theoretically Speaking rolls on here on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs: automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation, serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
Get ready, South Florida. It's the 12th annual Boca Raton Bowl. Tuesday, December 23rd, 2 p.m. at FAU's Flagler Credit Union Stadium. Two of the best group of 5 teams go head-to-head in the ultimate holiday showdown. Over 150 players have gone from this field to the NFL. Who's next? Visit BocaRatonBowl.com for the latest, including when tickets will go on sale. The 12th annual Boca Raton Bowl, Tuesday, December 23rd, 2 p.m. at Flagler Credit Union Stadium.
Hi, it's Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike. World leaders just wrapped up the AI Action Summit in Paris discussing how artificial intelligence will change our lives. Meanwhile, I'm just trying to get my smart toilet to stop posting on Instagram. For real intelligence, stay tuned to ESPN 106.3.
Hi, it's Luis Fonsi. In the world of music, versatility allows you to capture the moment and create something amazing. Ford SUVs are designed with the same versatility in mind. The Ford Escape or Explorer can make any day a beach day with room for family and all your gear. And the Ford Bronco or Bronco Sport give you the freedom to go over, around, or through almost anything that comes your way. Ford SUVs, perfect for South Florida. See your local Ford dealer today.
Every Thursday is a Thirsty Thursday at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium. Membership is just $100, and all fans 21 and up get a ticket to every Thursday game and a drink koozie, which unlocks weekly drink specials. Learn more at RogerDeanChevroletStadium.com.
Hey, Joe Fortenbaugh here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sportsbook for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with the promo code JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Level up your summer projects with 4th of July savings on top brand cordless power tools from the Home Depot. Whether you're working on a fence, a planter box, or a new workbench, get the power and runtime you need with the Ryobi One Plus 18-volt 2 toolkit from the Home Depot for only $99, was $139. Get 4th of July savings on the cordless power you need to make summer projects easier than ever. Right now at the Home Depot.
So let it rip.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
Well, you saw some greatness from Clayton Kershaw getting his 3,000th strikeout, becoming one of 20 pitchers in the history of Major League Baseball to reach that specific milestone. That greatness is nothing short than what we're used to over at Kaiser University. Colin Russo, Christian Cat, theoretically speaking, ESPN 106.3. Christian, Kaiser Seahawks' greatness, I mean, it can't go without being lauded just as much as Kershaw, huh?
Yeah, we talked about being numb to records being broken in sports because they make up records every other day. Well, for Kaiser University, they're not making anything up. It just so happens that Kaiser dominates the Sun Conference. Yeah, they won their 5th Sun Conference Commissioner's Cup this year. That's the most successful athletic department in the conference. You also saw that athletic director Chris Swagger won the AD of the Year award for the Sun Conference. Domination in West Palm Beach. 26 national championships for Kaiser Seahawk Athletics. We're talking about men's tennis team. They won their first ever Red Banner, ending a 10-year dynasty this season. And the men's lacrosse team, in dramatic fashion, in overtime fashion, won their 3rd straight Red Banner. So you have new titles. You have titles that have defended successfully again, and again. Get the latest on Championship Kaiser Seahawk Athletics at kuseahawks.com. And football season, that fun football team we've got in West Palm Beach, it's just around the corner. We'll see if they can make it back to the NAIA title game and win this one this year as well.
kuseahawks.com, Christian Cat, Colin Russo, theoretically speaking on ESPN 106.3. Welcoming in good friend of program. Let's welcome in Mr. Jonathan Zazo from the Zazo Show 2.0.
You might know him as the Cooper City Rattlesnake. He's the human flamethrower of Miami sports radio.
Hey, you could be a maniac without being a jerk.
The preacher of the Pat Riley Gospel.
They don't complain. They don't make excuses. This is the NBA. Deal with it.
The mayor of Dolphins Delusion.
Can the Bills offense keep up with the Dolphins offense?
And the only guy who can go from breaking down the Panthers power play to cutting a full-blown Ric Flair promo. Woo! Jonathan Zaslow is the voice of the 305.
Jonathan Zazo with us right now on ESPN 106.3. Zaz, welcome in. How are you doing today?
I'm all right, Colin. How are you, man?
Just wonderful. Let's talk about July 4th a little bit. Big holiday weekend, a rare weekend that it falls on a Friday. How are you spending your holiday weekend?
Oh, we're working, man. You know how we do it. I'll be on the network tomorrow. We're doing, we got a big shift tomorrow afternoon, and we'll get through with that, okay? And then, as long as the weather's all right, Zaslow Mansion pool, probably some barbecuing, but for the most part, we're working. And what about you?
I'm up in Connecticut at the moment, so I'll be actually down at the Jersey Shore. I think I'm going down tonight, so I'll have about 2 days down there enjoying the weather. The weather stinks in South Florida this weekend, so talk about a good weekend to work from your perspective. But I'm up north, and it's quite nice weather. One thing I noticed is that July 4th is almost a nuisance. We've talked about this before with Memorial Day, but it's just so hot and the weather's so unpredictable. Up north, it's sort of like the peak of the summer. I don't think you necessarily get that sense in Florida, so I'm happy to be up here. I'm going to have a good weekend.
You're 100% right about that, and it's like that for Memorial Day, too, where I know in the Northeast, when Memorial Day comes around, it's a major deal for you guys because that signals the start of summertime. And for us down here, it's like, all right, whatever. Like, there are no seasons. It's the same. The weather's the same all year. You got like 2 days in December where it'll be a little bit cold, but otherwise, all right, like we got July 4th weekend, great. Hopefully the weather's good. It's it's a completely different experience down here than in places like the Northeast.
So you're going to spend it barbecuing, setting it up, but a local side because you're going to be working at the same time with the network.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
bad.
And, we got the fireworks. There'll be fireworks in the neighborhood. My kids are too old for that, though. They don't get all excited about the fireworks anymore. So
They don't get fireworks.
My wife and I try. They'll do it in the neighborhood, but the boys, my older one, he'll go and he'll be with his friends. They'll do whatever they're going to do. My younger one, he doesn't care so much about the fireworks. So it's about us comforting the dogs. The dogs get very upset with the fireworks.
It's a dog owner's worst holiday is July 4th. But one thing about Christian and I were talking about that, I feel like fireworks is just like a thing that just like guys, boys love. Like the pyromaniacs in us just love seeing fireworks lit up, the explosion aspect, lighting something off. I think people like that. I'm surprised your boys are not in on that.
Yeah, I mean, fireworks is fine. Like, I'll be honest with you. I've never been the guy who goes to the fireworks stand on the side of the road, picks up $400 worth of fireworks and then goes nuts. It's not my thing,
Zaz, we were talking about some other plans for the next week or so. Christina Costanza, who joined us previously with the Happy Hour with Tina, she is going to a Morgan Wallen concert next week. She got invited by one of her best friends, a ticket free of charge. So she's got it's perfect situation for her. Floor seating. I believe it's in Miami at Hard Rock, I want to say. So it's a big concert. And
the stadium,
I wanted to ask,
not the casino. So it's a stadium show.
Hard Rock Stadium, excuse me. Yes, so it's a big concert. And I wanted to ask you, you're a South Florida guy, you understand this. Apparently what Morgan Wallen does, Christian was telling us about it, is he brings out a celebrity guest walkout, companion. Somebody walks out with him, makes a big show out of it. They show it. That's how they kick off the concert. And we are trying to hypothesize who would be good for a Miami-level area person that would join Morgan Wallen, a country concert. And we wanted to ask you, being the voice of the 305, who do you think could be somebody that would walk out with Morgan Wallen in Miami of all places?
I mean, but for country, I don't does it have to be another country star?
No. It can be just anyone that, so Peyton Manning walked out, yes, he might be diving into country music a little bit. Even Drake walked out with Morgan Wallen. Mike Tyson walked out with Morgan Wallen. Someone that signals that area, embodies that area, and will get a pop out of the crowd when they see them appear backstage on the Jumbotron.
Oh, gotcha. So it doesn't even have to be like another musician. It's just someone that we like down here in South Florida.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, could it be Tua? I feel like I could see Tua at a Morgan Wallen concert.
I think I could, too. I think that's possible. Christian said if Jimmy Butler were still here, Jimmy Butler would be the first and the last on the list of people to walk out with Wallen.
Jimmy Butler likes country music. That's a good one. Certainly he's persona non grata these days here. So I don't believe it'll be him. I think I could see Tua. I really could.
How about this? So yesterday on Theoretically Speaking, when Evan Cohen joined us, Zaz, I would love your opinion on this. Don't be shocked, Miami Heat fans, Evan Cohen said, if LeBron James has not played his last game in a Miami Heat uniform. What if Morgan Wallen walks out with LeBron James, and that is the way we find out?
He just announced it on stage at the show?
Yeah. He walks out. He's got the...
That's the show, guys. Yeah. Take care. Have a good night.
I would enjoy that.
I mean...
That is bigger than the concert itself.
I mean, I wouldn't be at the concert to see it there, but I would enjoy that when it comes across, the Twitter machine. That would be very, very exciting if that was the case. I saw that Evan said that Evan does believe that this is a possibility. I don't know how it winds up getting done. Anyone who says that a LeBron James trade would work here, would work there, and you feel like you understand how these trades go down, you're just lying. It's so complicated. You got to have a degree in mathematics to be able to figure out how these NBA trades work. I think we're headed toward a place where it seems like LeBron is going to ask out, but how that's going to wind up going down, I don't have a clue. It's so complicated.
Zaz, I'm not even on the board that the Lakers would even endorse moving him. They drafted his son, and they kept his son on the bench for the whole time. And the head coach, they had a podcast together. What are they going to shove him out of town? The biggest ticket seller in the league. We do this every year. Is LeBron going to play for the Knicks? He's going to go back to Cleveland. He's going to go back here. He is going to finish his career in LA. I do not have any other inclination in my mind.
I think that if you gave the Lakers the truth serum, okay, you gave Rob Pelinka, G. Bus, the truth serum, I think they would tell you that they secretly hope LeBron asks for a trade. The worst thing that they're clearly shifting toward the future. Luka's the guy. LeBron's only going to play for so many more years. And the worst thing that could happen for the Lakers is when LeBron leaves, either free agency because it's the final year of the contract, or he retires. The worst thing that could happen for the Lakers is LeBron leaves and you get nothing for him. He has a $52 million contract. You can get a couple good players, maybe a draft pick or two. The best thing for the Lakers would be if LeBron wanted a trade.
Zaz, where can people tune into more of you if they want to listen to more?
Well, look, every day, Zaslow Show 2.0. Wherever you get your podcast, you just search Zaslow Show 2.0, and I got you covered. Everything 305, everything South Florida. You get done listening to Colin and Mike. You get done listening to Theo, and then you listen to Zaslow Show 2.0. And every episode is presented by Anajar and Levine, accident attorneys. If you're involved in any kind of an accident, you're dealing with a personal injury, you got to go somewhere where you're going to get the compensation you deserve. And that's why I send you to Anajar and Levine, accident attorneys, 800-747-FREE, 800-747-3733.
Zaz, we appreciate it as always. Enjoy the weekend on ESPN Radio and enjoy the weekend with family. We look forward to talking again soon.
Yeah, enjoy the weekend, guys. Be safe.
The Zaslow Show 2.0. Listen to him throughout the weekend over on ESPN Radio. We appreciate him joining us. As we say, close out today's program of Theoretically Speaking, a 4th of July edition where Christian Cat is going to be going to the movies tonight, I believe. Right, Christian?
28 years later, I believe it's still in theaters. I watched the first two, even though you didn't have to, but I'm a big fan of trilogies and knowing every intricate detail. So I watched those first two zombie movies. I'm going to try to see the third one that's in theaters right now tonight.
Good idea. Good movie. I think you'll enjoy it. I think you'll enjoy it more than the other two for sure. Appreciate Christian for keeping us up over the air. As for everybody else, stay tuned next. We got Russo and Rizzo coming up right after this for the next 2 hours with myself and Mike Rizzo. You can tune into that there. If you missed any of Theoretically Speaking today, go listen back, go watch back. Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts at Theoretically Speaking, or go watch back on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X. Full-length videos there. ESPN West Palm. Saying so long. Have an enjoyable weekend for 4th of July. ESPN 106.3.
I'm not going to put away my fireworks just yet because there's another national holiday I wait for every year. And if you're not tapped in yet, you don't have to worry because McDonald's has got you. July 6th is National Fried Chicken Day, and they're throwing a party with deals you won't want to miss.